Hello Year 8s, so today we are going to blend 3 of our harmonious color pencils into our work. Now I've demonstrated some color pencil blending onto the left side, but I'm actually going to ultimately show you some of the things that I've done wrong here and go ahead and show you what you could do just to make sure that your color pencil blending looks smooth as possible. So first thing you want to do is pick a section that you want to do. Now that I know that's C for color pencil, so I'm going to go ahead and rub some of that section out. I'm going to rub out anywhere I wrote any marks, and also rub out any pencil shading smudges that I might have created while I was doing my HB pencil blending and shading into the background. So I'm going to rub those out. It's nice and neat, and then it won't make my work look too rough. And once I have done that, I can go back in and add some sketches if needed, but ultimately I can see the outline and there will be no need for that. So now that I know where everything needs to go, just going to rub this little section up. Now that I know where everything needs to go, that's my bottom and my background, I'm going to start off with the darkest color. For me, in my shades, would be the blue. The blue is the darkest. I'm going to use it, make sure it's nice and sharp, make sure all your pencils are nice and sharp when you're starting. And then I'm going to start off by outlining. I'm going to outline some of the details of my bottle. And very, very carefully take that down with a sharp edge of my color pencil. I am going to add that along. Now as I'm doing that, I need to be very, very careful not to create too many smudge marks, and just not to do it too thick. Just thin is better. And then I'm going to continue outlining the rest of my bottle as well. Using the sharp edge, I'm going to fill out the details and block out the background there the way I've done it here, so it could blend into the HB pencils as well. I'm going to block that out very, very quickly, and so that area is then done. Okay. Now that I've done that, I'm going to leave this as it is and then start slowly blending the blue into the bottle inwards. I'm going to shade inwards. Now instead of adding blue and green, I'm going to demonstrate how the blue looks just on its own, which is just as nice. You don't have to add another color if you demonstrated 3 or 4 or even 5 range of tones with the blue. So I'll show you very quickly how you can do that as well, even in a small section. So I'm going to make the edge a little bit more intense and make it dark, but I'm not going to make it too dark and bring it in, because then I can't vary with my range of tone. Let's start blending it inwards, adding a range of motion, make this super, super dark on the edge, and I'm going to blend it all the way down, making sure there's no too many gaps in between. We don't want any gaps. Now I'm going to leave that as it is, and you can do the same, but you see where the spaces are in between, which I haven't blocked out with my blue. I'm going to use yellow being on the opposite side to my blue, being the lightest color to use, and then popping that in between just to really make the letters pop out. And now I'm going to keep that yellow, and now I'm going to use that on the edge as my background, as it will make the blue pop out more, and it won't blend into it. If I use the green, the blue will start to blend in, and I don't really want that. So what I'm going to do is just start off by outlining, and as I'm outlining, I'm just going to take out that yellow and blend it out, so make it go dark, medium and light. And I'm using a variety of pressure. I'm going light here, I'm using circular motion, I'm using a different sizes as well, different sizes of circular motion, just to really get it nice and smooth. Now that I've got the yellow, I can spend some time adding another layer to it, just to really make the dark medium to be nice and medium, and the light to be super light, where I can blend it into my green being the next color on my harmonious cycle there. I'm just going to spend some time just smoothing that out, and as I do that, I'm going to stop, and instead of going into my green here, I'm actually going to go into my blue. Now you can keep it simple, where you can just use green, and so it's just 2 colors in the background, or you can do what I did, add the blue and then blend it into the green, or however so. So I'm going to demonstrate all 3 colors, and I'm going to demonstrate a different section there as well. So I'm going to switch to my blue, just on the edges, just on the edges. I'm going to start off with a dark pressure, heavy pressure with my dark tone, and I'm going to blend it out right away. And I really, really want to blend it out right away, so there's some room to blend the green in between. So as I'm doing that, keeping my hand nice and light, my pencil pressure nice and light as well. And I'm going to go ahead and add another layer to the tones in between, just so that the blue isn't looking too dark on the edges, but rather blending inwards, like I did with the yellow. And it would be better to work with small circular motion here, just so that you can really control how much you want to add, so it doesn't spread too much. Now I'm quite happy with that. I know the lighting of the room keeps changing, but if you could see this, it's looking really, really smooth, and a lot of tones are created here. Now with this green, I'm going to choose, just the way I went with dark with the blue as well as dark with the yellow, I'm going to choose where I want the color green to be the darkest. So I'm going to create this little line. Now with this line, I'm going to automatically start blending it into the green. Very quickly. I'm not going to take it all the way here, I'm just keeping it rather to the middle where the green and the blue can meet. But I'm keeping my pencil pressure very light when that two part does reach. And all the way down, same thing here, and start to keep it nice and light where the colors are meeting. And now I'm just going to add that second layer where my blue and green and blue are now meeting, so that it can start to blend in. Now there's no right way to do this, this is just one way how I choose to do it. If you want to do yellow, blend it into green, then blend it into blue, that's fine. If you just want to do two colors at a time, that's perfectly fine as well. Whatever you want to demonstrate, make sure that you're demonstrating the range of colors that we're after. Now what I'm going to do is do the same thing into my yellow, which starts off really light because my yellow is so light, I don't want to go in too dark with a heavy pressure. So I'm going to keep my pencil pressure nice and light. And see how I'm using that circular motion? It's really concealing my pencil marks, and you can't see it. It's looking very, very smooth, very buffed in, and that's the effect that we really want to go for. And as I do this, I'm going to take a quick, brief break and go back into my darkest color and add a little bit of pressure there, just so that my green is has its own variety of tones as well. We want to demonstrate our range of tones in all sections, and ultimately it'll help me to blend that in as well. Now you can leave it as light as this, you don't have to make it any darker. It's up to you if you want to make it darker and really get the colors to blotch into each other, that's perfectly fine as well. And if you want to do that, this is how you can do this. I'm going to start off with my green and blue. And it's really helpful to switch between your color pencils while you're doing it. As I do this green, I'm going to now take a quick break and switch to my yellow. With my yellow, I'm now going to bring that out. Look how I'm making that yellow just a little bit more darker, and now I'm bringing it out. Doing the same thing here, and it blends out automatically, very, very smoothly, because I was very careful with the way I blended my green into my yellow. It was very light, it's very smooth, and look how it just starts to blend in. So over here, I can leave that alone and switch and go into my blue and do the same thing going out. Just with a light pressure. Now this green is very light compared to my blue. So I could have used a lighter blue, which could have blended in a little bit better. But nonetheless, if you're using the right techniques, you can still get the same results. So let's see how this will look. I'm going very light when I go into the middle. My pressure automatically gets lifted. I don't keep it too heavy because I don't want to have harsh lines in between. And just like that, you should be done with your color pencil section. This one just took a little bit longer because I was talking and demonstrating a little bit more and things to do. What you don't want to do is make sure that if you've got any pieces of paper at the bottom, lift it up or just take it out so that there's no lines, and that's what was created here. Now when you're blotching your colors together, look how I did it slowly versus just rushing into the colors. Take your time, and if you want to not complicate it, use just one color at a time and create some tones. And then in the background, you don't have to use three is really good, or you can use 2. Now feel free to demonstrate 3 range of tones in the background somewhere else, or you can stick with 2 just here, because we are ultimately using the 3 colors at the end. If I block that out, then you can see just how the blue looks lifted, the yellow and the green looks blended as well. So feel free to do this.